Hey, I'm Nick.
I'm Amelia.
We're Sylvan Esso.
And these are Records in Our Life.
Concrete shining everywhere, moonlight's bright in the Keystone Gate. Meet me at the street light, gonna take you there, take you rooftop dancing.
Of course.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
We're great. We're glad to be here.
Where are you guys based out of these days, or cloistered?
We live in Durham, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that is kind of the hub of college basketball, tobacco, and indie rock and roll. Is it not?
Indeed.
It is two of those three things not going so hot right now, but
yeah.
Good point. Congratulations, your new album just dropped about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Can you tell us a bit about it?
It's called Free Love. We wrote most of it at our own studio in Chapel Hill, which is on like 10 acres of woods.
Oh, nice.
And then we went to LA a couple times to spice it up a bit. We worked with our friend John Hill, who we've written songs with before. Worked with our friend Daylight. Our friend Homer did some drums on the record. Our friend Joe Westerland did the looping drum pattern on Ring.
My dad played guitar.
Yeah, Sandy's dad played guitar.
Did your dad show you? Sorry to interrupt you there. Your dad teach you a couple of chords when you were a wee lad?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad playing guitar was like the coolest thing I could imagine. So that was kind of the first instrument I started learning was guitar, just because I would constantly pester him to show me how to do it. It was that was kind of the start of everything for me.
And what's your favorite song off the new, or the one you're most proud of off the new record?
Numb for me. What's one for you, Sandy?
I think Make It Easy is going to be, I think that's going to be a tough one to top for me. I think it's my favorite song we've ever made. I feel like I'm in the band, but I'm also kind of Amelia's biggest fan. And when she brought that song to me, I just immediately knew that was my favorite thing that she'd ever written. And I was like anxious to start working on it because I was really worried I was going to screw it up. I liked it so much.
Terrific. Now, this show, Records in My Life, it's about you, the artist, and records that have inspired you. I don't know if you were given the details about it by your publicist, but you guys make really some of your songs are really, really catchy and danceable. I mean, they make me, I'm not a dancer, but they do make me want to dance as well. I'm going to put you in a situation, say you're DJing a party, you're DJing an accounting or a dental convention, and it's like, and the floor is very quiet. So it's your job. I mean, you got to get them up and moving and dancing.
I need so much more information. So this is we're maybe at a convention center, something like that.
Yeah.
Have we already started playing and we're screwing it up and no one is dancing?
You got to pull out a 45 or an album. And in your head is going to guarantee the floor to get moving.
Can we do a 3-song arc?
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of what you need.
Because that's how you fix it.
Okay.
What would you do if you had 3?
I would start. Oh gosh. Okay.
I got an easy, the dance floor Knuckle Cracker.
Yeah. What?
I think Boogie on Reggae Woman is one of the greatest sounding recordings ever made. And that is like a universal, stop standing still song. Like everyone feels comfortable dancing to it, and like everybody likes it because it's a perfect song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's a great, if nothing is happening and you are in a place where you don't know anybody, it's, again, dental convention. I feel like this is perfect for this. That's like a guaranteed, soften up the ground type jam.
I would do, the sound from Kill Bill that goes like, woo, woo. Okay, I would play that. And then I would delicately transition that into Get Busy by Sean Paul. But I would only play half of it. And then I would play half of it, and then I would transition from that into Missy Elliott. What's the song?
I feel it. That is. I mean, that you are.
Well,
putting
if
your
we
foot
need to,
all the
if
way
we
on the
need to
gas.
do the thing, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah, like
different approaches. Yeah.
different.
Those are
Sandy's subtle, and also like he likes leaning into the wedding, and I
feel like what's the difference between a dental convention and a wedding?
I think you're right. Well, maybe,
It's
You don't know.
true.
You know what I mean? That's a
Even-
real similar
even-
DJ situation.
even dentists need to like. Also, conventions. There's some sexual tension there. They need to like figure that out.
Yeah, that's why I think Stevie Wonder is going to be the thing that makes when you bring out Sean Paul later. That's when they're like three
All right, fine. Well, then I'll think
drink
of a,
tickets in.
I'll
you
think
know?
of a subtler
Drink
song.
tickets.
No, I think it's great. I just like the move.
I'll think of a subtler
I don't
thing
be-
to do. No, don't
Why
worry.
would you change it? That's totally your vibe. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Get right in there.
No, but there's like a. Oh no! Yeah, that intro line. That one. It's good. Oh wait, no, that's not Boogie on Reggae Woman.
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of Herbie Hancock.
You're thinking if I thought it was you.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was you.
Also a great song to play in that situation.
I thought it was you by Herbie Hancock. That's the subtle one that I would choose.
that is a perfect lean.
Yeah. So I don't think dancers would dance to that.
But that's one of those ones that's like it's infectious enough and like just adjacent to things that they may have heard if they haven't heard it.
Mhm.
That I feel like that's kind of one of those they're like having a conversation and then suddenly they're like,
Moving
Oh,
their
yeah.
moving their little dentist bodies around.
yeah.
This is fantastic. Thank you. You guys are wonderful guests. I just love it. That's the point, getting people, talking about, because there's so many favorite records out, right? It's like for people, it's like
That's
impossible
the thing though.
to.
You got to put them. It's like you can't pick a favorite record. It's like what do you play in a situation? That's
Mhm.
that's the whole thing. That divides.
Yeah.
It's about time and place.
Yeah. Sandy's DJ sense is much more developed than mine because he has like 10 years of DJing on me and I'm just learning. I just learned with CDJs. I'm still not very good. But
You
It's
got great
very
selection.
hard. It's a
It's hard.
tricky. It's kind of like a comedian trying to read a room, right? Like playing the right music and
They're
getting
so-
a reaction.
exactly. And I'm also like, in reality, it's that I'm shy. And so which is hilarious because I'm not shy in any other situation. But with DJing,
Yeah.
I'm shy.
Well, it's you're putting yourself out there, right? You want people to respond to your music, to your love, right? You want people to love it too, right? So that's a big
It's
part of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny that I feel so much more comfortable in like a spangly leotard screaming my own songs on a
My
stage
feelings.
and
Like,
dancing, being like, yeah. And then when I have to play Sean Paul, I'm like,
do you like it? Like,
So three albums in now. Let's you're of the modern generation. The Craigslist. One of you guys is starting the band, and I'm speaking of that. So the Craigslist ad is must like these bands. So the two or three records, which brought you guys together, which you bond over the most.
oh, you mean if we're looking for a drummer and we're posting
or
on...
we're looking for each other.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. That's easy for me. It's,
It's easy for you.
yeah, must like
I like
Aaliyah, Autechre, and Primus.
Ooh.
I
Which
can't believe
Primus
Primus is
record?
in there, but it makes sense.
They're all
Which
so
Primus record?
good.
I mean, what day of the week is it?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
might be a Tales from the Punch Bowl kind of day. Maybe we're going psychedelic. Maybe we're leaning Dirt Dog and we're talking Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
I love Sailing the Seas
That's
of Cheese.
beautiful.
That's like one of my favorite ones.
My son loves My Name is Mud. He goes crazy over that song and the way it breaks up and then it builds up and then it.
It's so good.
No one talks nearly enough about how experimental that band was. Like that was
Sure.
a truly avant-garde approach to bass
Well,
guitar.
they're just people are just fucking rude because he's like, people like see the goofiness and the funniness. It's like with Phish. It's like with fucking
silliness
Phish.
makes people dismiss the seriousness of something, which is like just wrong.
Yeah, or the experimental nature. I think people do the,
the
same
intelligence
thing.
of a thing.
Yeah, people do the same thing with earnestness.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have this discussion about Phish all the time because I'm a big Phish fan, for better and for worse.
Me too.
Well, now, yeah.
Now.
But the thing about that, and I'm realizing also, you're right about Primus, is that I think they get dismissed out of hand regularly because they include silliness as an emotional element in their music with the same ratio that it's in our lives, rather than dismissing it entirely and having the whole thing be like very serious, or
Yeah.
it's like, and the silliness to me is such a crucial part of like my emotional existence, but it's devoid from inclusion in almost all of the music I listen to, with like those two exceptions. And maybe They Might Be Giants. That's the other,
Oh, Soul Coughing.
Soul Coughing.
Soul
also
Coughing
quite
suffers
silly.
because Mike Doty's such a.
But the
loon.
band they embrace silliness in a crazy.
Yeah, it's so dope.
It's so good.
You guys each got a job. Both of you got jobs as music teachers during this time. Let's put it like there's not a lot of touring going on. What's the first? Think of School of Rock with Jack Black. So you have to send your kids home, or your students home, and their ages like 6 to 12. And you have to send them home with one record it's going to inspire them musically, kind of socially, and an important record. This
is tough, again, because I feel like I would recommend a different album for almost every kid I was going to teach.
Okay, then let's choose the kid. The kid's like
What are you teaching? What do you want to talk about in your class, and then think about what you'd send somebody home with?
I would probably be teaching songwriting.
Okay.
So, I mean, then it would probably be. Oh yeah, if it was kids, it would be. What's the record that Anna Ang's on?
Lincoln.
It might be Lincoln.
Maybe Flood.
It would be Flood.
Yeah.
I would think I would do Flood, just because it does.
By They Might Be Giants.
By They Might Be Giants, which the levels of like clever songwriting and shifting in that is so easy to point to, and they're fun and silly and like easy to hold your attention because they're small.
Yeah.
And very compact.
They're so resourceful.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing I love the most about John Linnell's writing is the economy of words. The way that he, like, when he chooses a word, it says, like, usually it's saying 3 different things at the same time. And they're all applicable to what he's talking about.
I think if I was going to be teaching, the classes I have taught in the past have mostly been about like production and like composition and stuff like that. And I think now, if I was going to have kids in a class for that now, I think I'd probably choose The Lemon of Pink by the Books. Just because that's one of those records that like, it really shows how much you can do just by thinking about what's possible, which I think is such a like crucial element to being able to do things yourself. Like, I think there's an easy tendency, especially with all the kind of like gear-centric music production press and stuff like that, that you think that like you start looking at pieces of equipment or what you already have based on what it can't do rather than what it can do. And the minute you flip that, I think that's what leads to brilliant records like The Lemon of Pink by the Books. And you just start examining all the ways those guys figured out to make something truly unique with so few tools. I mean, that's like a masterpiece of our time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. I know the books, but I don't know that record. But thank you for the tip.
They're all really good. That's probably my favorite one.
Them for friends and family, for your fans, and for our audience.
Oh. Remember to tell everybody that you love them and call the people that you haven't talked to for 2 weeks. Check in. Calling is nice, unless it gives you anxiety. But I would recommend calling on the phone.
Being good is always more interesting than being evil.
You're true pros. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we really hope to see you out and about on the road soon.
I hope so.
We would love to. If we're back, please come say hi.
Yeah, it was such a pleasure to talk to you.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Be well. Take care.
Bye.
Good luck with the elections.
Oh
my
gosh,
God, thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mark Henning, the other half of Records in My Life. Love it that you made it to the end of the video. Please leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you really dug the show, we'd love it if you'd consider supporting us over at patreon.com/RIMLTV. Cheers and see you next week.